We've hit a cracking drive here in the middle of the fairway, but we feel there's so much pressure on our second shot now to try and get it to that hole. We've only got a 7-iron in our hand. It's quite a long hole. We've hit an absolute barnstormer of a drive, but my word, we get up to that golf ball, we feel pressure. Why is that, and what can we do about it, and what can we do to make sure we hit a better golf shot? Hit that link below to my website to get on the waiting list for lessons with myself here at Whittlebury Park Golf Club. Now we've hit an absolute barnstorm. It's come right out the middle of the driver face. Beautiful little draw on top of it, gone miles down there, trundled on beautifully as well. It's an absolute cracking drive. However, we've come to a second shot and we feel a ton of pressure because we think we've got to take advantage of that situation. We feel like we've got to take advantage of that. So we get up to what we feel is an easier shot, but we could top it. We could do anything. We could top it, we could fat it, we could shank, we could do anything because we feel a lot of pressure to it. So we feel like we need to guide the golf club down there to that golf ball, but that is the wrong approach to it. So what do we need to try and make sure happens to give ourselves the best chance of hitting as good a shot as we possibly can from a really nice area from here, even though we feel a lot of pressure is in our mind right there? We've got to do two things. One, what I want you to try and feel is we're not trying to absolutely force the golf club. We're not trying to really force the golf club to the golf ball. I want you to feel smooth in the swing. Even say it to yourself when you're swinging. I want you to feel smooth. Please do not say the other S word to yourself, slow. Because the problem is, if we slow it down, we end up really gripping hold of the golf club. Everything becomes really tense and tight, and it just doesn't work out very nicely at all. So please don't think slow. We're not trying to slow the swing down. We're trying to make sure the golf club's moving in a nice, smooth way. So it's not really fully jerking from the top. It's not a force from the top. It's just a nice, smooth transition on the way down. And that makes it a lot easier to get that club down to the ground. And therefore we've got no chance of topping it. So we can cross that bad shot off the list. We're not going to top it. So first things first, we've got to feel smooth. We've got to feel nice and smooth through. Secondly, what we've got to try and make sure happens here on the way through is we've got to make sure we're just allowing our lower body in particular to turn through. Okay? Because the problem is if we don't turn through, look at where we're hitting that ground way before. Okay, if we turn through too aggressively, we'll hit way in front when the ball's just here. Obviously me demonstrating, really exaggerating for demonstration purposes. So we've got to make sure it's nice and smooth and turn through. Nice and smooth and turn through to give ourselves the best chance of taking the pressure away from our mind because we feel we're in a good position. We want to take advantage of it. So nice smooth swing, turn through. And hopefully the ball will be struck absolutely as sweet as a nut. It just feels effortless. And that's what it should feel like because we don't want to force it, remember. We just want to swing smoothly with that little bit of a turn. And that gives us the best chance of avoiding those absolute horror bags out there.